Day outside, I think the temperature is not really soaring. Last evening was very, very pleasant. I'm sure it's all because of the delegates that we see out here. We're going to be having a very, very interesting next 2 days of conference. I welcome you all. I welcome all the honorable guests, leaders from the industry, speakers, sponsors, and most importantly, the delegates for whom this conference is being conducted. On behalf of Infinity Expo, I welcome you all to this Warehouse Summit MENA 2019. This is one of the most exciting and radiant period, in the history of supply chain for the past several years. And across the world, we're seeing overall development in the Department of Supply Chain, logistics departments all around corporates. And we also see a lot of growth opportunities that are taking place worldwide, including the UAE and the Middle East. The foundation of the UAE was always based on a transshipment and transiting economy. It was built on the vision to facilitate global connectivity in the region, thereby capturing seamless flow of materials by creating best-in-class infrastructure aided by business-oriented policies for international trade and physical distribution. However, physical distribution has ever been changing in this region, and from distribution, we have seen the change happening towards introduction, which means the local economies have started consuming enough materials and enough products for overall change and evolution of local distribution to take place. And this has slowly become the main focus of attention in most of the knowledge sharing conferences that are being conducted from time to time. The UAE's logistics sector is gaining momentum as most and more startup companies open their shops, offering latest solutions and services, tracking real-time shipments, beating turnaround times for deliveries, and so on. A few days back, there was a conference held here in UAE on e-commerce, and I'm sure some of us who have attended that have been witness to the fact that the overall landscape change is happening. While the UAE may see the blend of conventional logistics players and startups, the challenge now remains of how will the existing players face competition from startups. Some of us probably are already feeling the heat. These would mean equipment manufacturers, it would mean third-party logistics service providers, transporters, and last-mile service providers. The technologies that are being adopted has also helped companies to bring buyers and sellers on one platform, which much starters are actually awaiting. The internet boom in the UAE did boost the e-commerce growth in the last couple of years, but one of the biggest challenges was delivering the goods as promptly as you click on the mouse. The logistics sector sees firm competition to deliver within hours and on the same day within the UAE. Most of the formidable players in the integrated service provider sectors agree that though the industry is becoming very competitive, the question remains, what innovations are you bringing in on the table to help capture your market space? According to the NITT's 2017 State of MENA Funding Report, industries such as e-commerce, fintech, food and beverages, and logistics and transportations are the most preferred sectors where startup disruption is happening. These 2 days of the conference are designed to focus on velocity, efficiency, and profitability. With a rich bank of speakers that represent various links of the supply chain, I am sure that delegates will gain deep insight with respect to the various transformation and disruption in the warehouse space, specifically in the United Arab Emirates. I urge all our delegates to make notes and take clarifications wherever needed at the end of each session. At the end of each session, we're going to have a short Q&A time, which will be given after each speaker concludes, and I would urge you to kindly use this very, very focused forum to ask your questions, take clarifications, and let's all together opinionate on the various aspects that come up. Also, please visit the booths of our exhibitors to appreciate their communication of their products and services. Most of the booths are outside, just as you get out of the door. Do spread the word about your participation on LinkedIn, Twitter, and any other social media connect that you are in. It will help in creating awareness of what's happening here, and probably you can also share your own comments as we go through. I wish you all a good time for the next 2 days. As we start the proceedings of the day further, as we go ahead with the sessions, I would like to now invite our Honorable Madam Nadia Abdul Aziz. She is the President of National Association of Freight and Logistics, to deliver the keynote address. Ms. Nadia Abdul Aziz is the President of National Association of Freight and Logistics, NAFL, and the Chairman of the initiative Vilat, Women in Logistics and Transport in UAE. She is also a UNESCO Managing Director and Partner and the Executive Board member of Al Noor School of Children with Special Needs. Ms. Aziz's strong professional experience forays into marketing, freight and logistics. She has worked with Dulsco, one of the largest manpower supply company to the logistics industry in the Gulf and the oldest in the United Arab Emirates, where she was involved in supplying manpower to ports, airports, logistics companies, and shipping lines. She continues to support this industry and enjoys working on various labor issues to ensure that the standards are maintained over the years.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all of you. It's great to be here. I'm honored, and I've never had so much marketing done for me. It's nice. It's a nice start. Thank you so much. I'd like, first of all, to introduce myself. Where you can benefit from that is I'm representing 2 nonprofit organizations. I'm currently the chairperson of the International Chamber of Commerce UAE chapter, Customs and Trade Facilitation. So if you have any customs issues, you can come and see me, and we'll have it sorted with the various government entities. And also currently heading the NAFL, which is the National Association of Freight and Logistics, UAE chapter of the Global Theatre. I'd like to welcome you in the Warehouse MENA Summit 2019. And before I start, I'd like to thank, most of all, Expo Infinity and the partners in Expo Infinity, the entire team who put this event and various events in the region together, because I do salute them. It is a quality event. Many events are very commercial, but I really like the caliber of people I see and the content of these events. Thank you, Mr. Sukhjinder Singh, Mr. Mohan, and Mr. Gupta, and family, and the female behind all of that, and the support from the family. Now, when we're talking about warehousing, supply chain, logistics, there are drastic changes taking place in the region and within the UAE, despite the global recession that hit everybody. So I will basically be going through just one slide, where I will be taking you through the market. As you know, the market is more than 15.3 trillion US dollar worth market, the warehousing and supply chain logistics, versus 8.3 trillion in 2015. You can see the growth, the opportunities. The UAE remains within a predominant position as the 3rd most attractive transshipment global hub, first regionally, and it's working very hard to maintain that position. Why did this take place? Is because of the government investments, which you need to take a lot of notes on. Government investments in infrastructure projects, warehousing, government stimulus projects for the foreign direct investors and national corporates, which has recently been introduced, and various cities within the UAE investing more and more into logistics, which was not the conventional areas that they invest in. Now, when I move from here, I'll talk about the UAE government strategy. The government strategy is to be right now the global logistic hub, global e-commerce hub and redistribution hub. This is the new focus. The focus is on innovation, being 10 times faster than any country in the world, smartest city in the world, attracting SMEs and maintaining and attracting entrepreneurs. And not only attracting entrepreneurs for a short while, but they're trying to plan and attract entrepreneurs and have them stay for long term. And support all these businesses. So you need to check out all the government initiatives to support SMEs. And I'm not talking about national SMEs in general. The government of Dubai and heavily the government of Abu Dhabi is investing hugely in supporting your SMEs. This has been announced by the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, so if you need more information about that, we'll be more than happy to have them come and present. Part of this is the One Belt, One Road initiative, the Silk Road. Kuwait is going to be part of that, Oman is part of that. The UAE, it started off with Abu Dhabi Ports Authority. There's more than $400 million investment in Abu Dhabi ports by the Chinese government, by the largest shipping line in China, COSCO Port Terminal, will operate in Khalifa Port. MSC Line will operate in Khalifa Port, which simultaneously means that you will have higher capacity, you will need warehousing, 3PL distribution facilities within Keynote and the port area. In addition to that, there are initiatives by the government to help you start up your businesses in Abu Dhabi as well as Dubai in terms of hybrid licensing opportunities, which means you can have a free zone license, you can have a branch of the free zone license without a local partner, you save on the royalties, etc. And you are having 100% ownership plus no restrictions on capital repatriation. Dubai South is offering this. Keynote is offering this at the moment. This is something new that was not offered previously. And as part of the Silk Road, we heard about Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi Investment and Abu Dhabi is the capital of the UAE. It is one of the richest cities in the world, which means for logisticians, that's also somewhere where you have to have your radar on. It generates 65% of the UAE's GDP, despite it having only 34% of the UAE's population. That is one thing. The government has moved away from focusing mostly on oil and gas projects onto renewable energy, a lot of manufacturing, tourism projects, and also very heavily investing in logistics. Now, when we talk about logistics, recently there has been 10 billion dirhams invested merely in Khalifa Port. I'm not talking about the other investment, huge projects in Abu Dhabi. I will not be able to cover all of that. They also have the largest solar energy plant in the world being constructed. They have got more than 50 Chinese manufacturing companies taking a huge land plot in Kizad to manufacture, store, and export to the rest of the world, which means you guys will have some business there. This is Abu Dhabi. Moving on from Abu Dhabi, they are also having expansions and a new airport being built, which means there will be more air cargo also coming in, or sea air cargo being generated through this, which also they are connected to the GCC areas through the highways and the exit points, mainly from Abu Dhabi. So most of the land transport cargo exits via Abu Dhabi or Wayfat area to the GCC area. So you need to take that into consideration. There is huge investments by the government for the border projects. Also for the 1,200 kilometer rail project, which will be right now ready in 2022 or 2023, which will connect the cargo mainly from the UAE to the neighboring countries. When you talk about Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum 2 days back signed an MOU with the Chinese government. As a part of the government stimulus, as part of the government initiatives, to help also foreign direct investors who supported the country, invested in the country, to bring in more business flow into the UAE. Dubai government signed an MOU and high investments above 3.4 billion US dollars, only for just two new projects. One of the projects is to bring in manufacturing into Dubai, in the Jebel Ali area, manufacture products and store and re-export to the rest of the world. So 2.4 billion will be into storage projects, manufacturing and re-exporting. More warehousing, more freight. Plus, you'll get all the raw materials coming in. Job creation. Number two, the second project will focus on not only producing Chinese products, but bringing in animal feed, Chinese agricultural products, process them, manufacture, pack, and store and re-export to the rest of the world. This is a $1 billion project. These two projects have been signed. One of the projects will be adjacent to Expo site, and the other one will be within Jebel Ali area, free zone area. So you know where these two areas are, where you have opportunities for warehousing and supply chain in the coming years. Moving on from there, Dubai is also, and the UAE is focusing on e-commerce. Last mile delivery, of course it has disrupted a lot of our businesses, but now last mile delivery, as the UAE, Saudi have the highest mobile and e-commerce penetration. Last mile delivery is changing the way we do business. More warehousing will be needed for e-commerce, more just-in-time storage, as well as various radius areas that can cater to the various population within the UAE. So some areas in Abu Dhabi where there's high density of e-commerce, you need to be within the same radius area. Dubai, you need to be within the same radius area where you can deliver within an hour or so. And when we're talking about Sharjah and the Northern Emirates, etc. Now, as an association, we have very good relations with all of these free zone, non-free zone entities. If you need any special packages, any requirements, we can assist all of you. When we talk about the government, they are, as we mentioned, they are moving to invest highly in logistics, multimodal logistics, connectivity, bringing in more foreign direct investment. When you have more foreign direct investment, manufacturing, import, export, re-export, and storage. And also, Dubai, as we mentioned, now they have these two Chinese initiatives, which was announced 2 days back, which is 60 billion square feet in land given to traders, the market project. This is the Chinese product where they will produce Chinese products, store and re-export. And the vegetable basket project where I talked to, it is agriculture and animal feed, processed, packed, re-export. The government also is not only looking at the traditional trade lanes, trade markets that we are used to. When there is a recession, you need to have your eggs in many baskets, not in one basket. So they are focusing on various markets, niche markets such as Africa, which the government has set up offices to support all of you, Latin America, as well as the CIS region. Of course, we are having very strong relationships with India and China. So these bilateral trade relations are stronger than ever, and right now also you can see huge government initiatives to go and enhance these bilateral trade relations. And key areas for the warehousing and distribution, as I mentioned, there are huge changes taking place in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, and as you know, the oil sector is through Fujairah and Abu Dhabi, Fujairah ports, Fujairah free zone. So you need to be looking in terms of warehousing at ideal areas such as Dubai South, Jebel Ali, within proximity to the airports, if it's air cargo, DAFZA, KEZAD, where you are able to serve the GCC. You have lower rates in terms of utilities, maybe around 30% lower than other areas if you're into the cool chain warehousing. And also, because a lot of the manufacturing will be taking place within KEZAD area and Jebel Ali area right now. A lot of Chinese manufacturing and foreign manufacturing is going to be taking place, which was not happening before. So these are my recommendations to you. We will be discussing all of the challenges, trends, market trends, where 3PL and most of the companies are now going to subcontract and rely on 3PL to reduce costs, which is ideal. And because of e-commerce, the warehousing and locker trend will be increasing. And as a government, we are moving towards being a smart, digitalized economy. As a private sector, we need the support from warehouse automation corporates to help us, to help the small to medium enterprises. The global ones know how to manage all of these warehousing and how to use automation and the latest apps. So the challenge is to bring the small to medium enterprises and enhance the logistic warehousing standards in the country, where we need your help as private vendors to support the small to medium enterprises in the warehousing industry to move in line with the government's growth and government strategy. If we have the smartest city in the world and our warehousing facility is not great, that will not help. The government, as well as the private sector, will help everybody grow, and we should grow in the right way. And the way where you reduce cost in warehousing and maintain low cost is using the best technology and the most efficient technological new apps to sustain that growth and maintain good profit margins. And one challenge we face, and I think everybody within our region, or maybe our generation faces, is not adapting and not adopting also the new technology in logistics or warehousing. This is one of the challenges that maybe we have to tackle, and with the help of the organizers, maybe we can put some training or networking program between the private sector in terms of warehousing. I would recommend that we utilize our strategic position to distribute, because we are connected to more than 140 ports. We are connected by air to more than 270 international destinations. You have the top 2 global airlines here in the UAE, so if you need any contacts, any special rates, you can contact us as an association. And we'd like to thank you for being here with us, and we have an exciting day full of information. I hope you network, and if we can help you in any way, please feel free to contact us. Thank you so much.